What is up, guys? So today I've been getting a lot of questions lately about kind of the hardware and the terminal tackle that I use for my swim baits, from snaps to hooks to split rings. So I'm going to kind of quickly go over what I use. Just got back from the lake. Pretty rough day out there today. Some reason a lot of the fish have started to bed once again, and with that, these fish, they're more territorial than wanting to try and eat a bait, which is a no-no, because we'll have fish, fire up on a bait and then just go right back down. So it's very hard to get some of these fish to bite. Phoenix was able to get like one little fish that he got on the DRT Clash. It is what it is. So just got back, gonna do this quick video for you guys. Let's get right back into it. So I'm gonna first go over like treble hooks that I use for a variety of different size swim baits, from my Hinkle trout all the way down to the Clash. So mostly I am using quads. A lot of guys know that I use decoy quads, either size 1/0 or 1s, and that's what I normally use, is those size quads. Now the 1/0 is going to be bigger than the size 1. The 1/0 is what I have on my bigger swim baits, like on the Hinkle trout, or I'll put like the bigger one on the front hook of either like the Clash or even my HPH. It's gonna have the bigger one in the front, and then I'll put a size 1 on the smaller glides, or the smaller soft baits if I feel like rigging a stinger like a Huddleston or a Batesmith. And so that's what I use both of those for. Now they are expensive. I do like to replace them a lot. They do tend to kind of get dull after a while, so I'm always switching it out. Now there's of course alternates to quads. Now I like to use the ST36. The 36s, they're a very thin, sharp hook. I really like the thinner hooks just to penetrate through fish's mouth a lot better. The 41s are also another good hook, very strong hook. I just don't really like the inward curve that it has on it. With the 41s, I haven't had that great of hookup ratio on them instead of like the 36 or a quad. The 41s are still good. My third favorite hook to use is the 41. Now with the 41, if you do hook a fish, that thing's hooked on there pretty good. The fish that I do hook with the 41s, they usually don't come off. They're really sticky sharp. They're very, very strong hooks. They don't bend whatsoever. And if you want to try out a couple hooks, I would definitely go with a 41 as one of the favorites, as well as the ST36. Both of these hooks by owners are absolutely amazing hooks. Now when it comes to the split rings, on most of my glides, if not all of them, they have 2 split rings on the front and 1 in the back. That's on all of them. On the HPH, on the Clash. And I do that just because the way that a lot of the fish will eat a bait is they will come from the side and they will hit it like that. Now on a glide, when the bait's gliding in the water, the hooks will actually ride up on the side. Now adding that extra split ring will rise that hook up, as well as it being lower to where you can actually get that fish. Now with the one less split ring, you're kind of limiting yourself to the height on which the fish can hit it, and you actually hooking the fish. And also, if it just dangles there on like a stop, you glide it and it stops and it hits it, then it's dangling just a little bit lower, and it's more free down here. And so it has a better shot of actually clipping the fish and hooking it than rather just clipping it and not hooking it. That's why I always add a second one. As well as if you do hook a fish, you have more twist. You can twist it a lot more, and a lot of fish will come off of people just because they twist the split rings up and just work that hook out and then pop out and free. Now with that extra split ring, that doesn't allow that to happen as much. And what's cool about with the Hinkle trout is it's got rotating hook hangers, so it can always just go around and around. But with most glide baits, it doesn't. So adding that second split ring can also really help in keeping fish on. Now the split rings that I use are the Owner Hyper. Now the split rings that I use are the Owner Hyper Wire. It's the size 5. It's a 60-pound split ring. These split rings are absolutely amazing. I absolutely love them. They're small, but they're very, very strong. The less you have on your bait that makes it unnatural and make it look different, the better. So they're small. They're very small compared to everything around this bait. Whereas you can have a lot bigger split rings that will create more flash, more unnaturalness to a bait. And with a lot of times with these glide baits, these fish are actually getting a pretty good look at it, and they will follow it and kind of see, you know, if it's real or not. And the less stuff you have on there, the less bulky stuff on there, the smaller the hooks, the smaller the split rings, I think your chances of getting a fish to bite a glide bait increases by actually quite a large margin. Now, I know there's dudes out there that will actually color their hooks and color the split rings, so that's going just the extra step. I just leave it as it is, but again, I like to use small things. So this is a pretty big bait. I have the 1/0 quads in here. They're pretty tiny if you see them in person. So again, I can't illustrate it enough. The smaller you go, the better. Now when it comes to my swivels that I use on the swim baits, I use just two. I either am using this Berkeley cross-lock snap swivel. It's an 80-pound swivel. It's all black, and compared to some of the baits, it's pretty small. Kind of a small swivel, but it's very, very strong. I've been using it on this hinkle trout, throwing it around. I've been throwing it on my HPH as well as my Clash, and I absolutely love those cross locks by Berkeley. They come, it's a size 5, 80-pound, and they come with 4 of them. I throw them on there. If I'm not using those, I am using my Owner Purports. They're again another cross lock snap. It's the size 3, 114-pound snap, and these are also very good snaps. I absolutely love these as well. They hold up very, very strong. I haven't seen any of them bend yet. And now with the swivels, what they do is they allow more freedom of movement from more of the bait. So instead of like tying straight to, you know, the line tie, it gives you more freedom, or at least the bait more freedom to swim better. I've swam all of my glide baits with and without the snap, and majority of the time the snap looks more free, more flowing, as you may say, and has a better glide to it with these snaps on there. That's why I use my snaps. You know, you can use, you know, split rings of course if you want, but I just like to use snaps. Now when it comes to my soft baits, like my weedless baits, like I've got here an 8-inch mag draft. I've got it on a 10/0 weighted beast hook. So when it comes to rigging my soft swim baits that I want to rig, you know, weedless, you know, so I can rip through the grass, I'm going to be using the Owner beast hooks. Now this is the 8-inch mag draft. I got it on a 10/0 1/2-ounce weighted beast hook, and it fits on there perfectly. And I absolutely love these hooks so far. What's so cool is about with this hook, is what Oliver and I kind of mentioned, is that it's a very fine point on this hook. And so with that being that fine, you're not tearing a giant hole in a fish's mouth. And what's so cool about Owner is that they make these. It's called the Flashy Swimmer. Now, a buddy of mine, Cam, he recommended me to use these, and these hooks are actually pretty cool. They got a little willow leaf blade at the bottom of it, so it creates an extra, I guess, spark, shine, whatever you want to call it, in the water. If you're fishing muddier water, more stained water, it gives more of a flash to the bait. And then, so once they kind of see the flash, then they might see the profile of the bait and, you know, like, all right, that's a shad or that's a trout, or whatever it is that you're trying to imitate, let's go after that. And so they make them in a bunch of different sizes. Again, I use these for, you know, the 8-inch mag draft, the 8-inch, you know, weedless rising sun, a bunch of other different baits like the working class zero battle shad as well. So there's a bunch of uses for those beast hooks. If you guys are interested in getting any of the terminal tackle that I talked about in this video today, I will leave the links to that in the description below, so you guys can go check them out and upgrade from what you guys are using, or just, you know, check it out, try out, you know, a bunch of different new stuff. I will definitely leave that stuff down in the description below for you guys to check out, of course. I think other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, chase your dreams.